What's up, everybody? Welcome back. My name is Vikram Deol. I am the founder of the Real Estate Growth Academy, and today I want to talk about what should you be focusing on in 2023? Should you be focusing on listings? Should you be focusing on buyers? Should you be focusing on investors, right? Where should you be spending your time? And I wanted to drop a little bit of knowledge because I don't think that a lot of real estate agents realize this, because most of the real estate agents out there that are newer got in the last 3 to 5 years when the gravy train was choo, 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 rolling down the track. Here's the truth. In 2006 to 2012, about 50, maybe 60% of listings didn't sell. In a normal market, 60% of listings sell, 40% don't. In a adverse market or recessionary market or a winter market, a bear market, whatever you want to call it, that number goes to 30 to 40% of listings sell. I'm not sure where we're going to land in this market, but I can tell you that I would assume that 40% of listings are going to sell and 60% of listings are going to come off the market. And here's why. I don't think that most real estate agents in the game that are going to take these listings have the skills. I don't think they have the skills necessary to win, right? They don't know how to educate their clients. They don't know how to talk to their clients. They don't know how to teach their clients about the things necessary, right? They don't know the difference between event pricing, perceived market value, aspirational pricing, right? They don't use these terms. They still use terms like, hey, Mrs. Jones, the house sold last month for $500,000. Well, that's an old sale, right? That comp doesn't matter anymore. Real estate agents don't understand how to position the property because they're using past comps instead of current competition. The second thing is I don't think real estate agents have the courage, right? Because everybody says listings to last, listings to last. If you want to last, you have to have listings, which I completely disagree, because we made millions of dollars selling to buyers that are still happy in their house and they're not planning to move for another 5 to 10 years. I don't think listings are the end all be all. I think they're great. I think they're important. I think they matter and they should be a part of your business. But I believe you should plan moving forward in 2023 that about 50, maybe even 60. I know some real estate agents and teams are estimating that 70% of listings in their marketplace will not sell, which means that for every 10 listings they bring, they're going to make 3 sales. So adjust accordingly, right? Do you need to pay for staging? Do you need to pay for this? Do you need to pay for that? Or should the sellers be responsible for that now? Because if you believe that 5 to 7 out of 10 houses aren't going to sell in your market, that's a big, large number. And if you are better than the market, that's great for your marketing. But if you are average or below average, you might have 2 out of 10 or 3 out of 10, and the market's doing 4 or 5 out of 10. So listings are super important and they should definitely be a part of your business. But remember, not every listing sells, even in the great markets, but definitely not in a downturn. So price your client's house accordingly, or maybe sometimes it's okay to walk away, say no, and allow for somebody else to put their time and effort into that property, and you go and get one that actually can sell. So number 1, listings are maybe not as valuable as you think. The second thing is where should you spend your time in 2023? 2, you got to have a big list of buyers, y'all. Like those buyers that were out in the market, that when the market was frothy, they're still looking for property. You better have a huge pipeline of buyers that are 12 months out, 18 months out, 24 months out, 3 months out, ready to buy now, 3 years out, 5 years out, right? You should have a huge list of buyers ready to buy and transact at multiple stages through their path of purchasing. And you should follow up with those people, and you should continuously educate those people, and you should continuously teach those people and talk to those people and see where you can fit in to help them purchase. It's not okay to not have a book of buyers in this market. And if you think that, oh, well, I only want now buyers, right? People talk to my partner, Cody. They're like, well, we just want now clients. There is no such thing as now clients. There's things as confused clients that need to be educated by you on why they should or shouldn't buy. There are people that have life experiences, right? If you have a child that you want to get into a great school district, you have to buy or move or do something. So consult your clients, educate your clients, teach your clients. Don't worry about the commissions. The commissions always come. The third thing you need in 2023 is you need a book of investors. You need to have somewhere around 15 to 100 investors that you can send good deals to. You need to know what they're looking for. You need to know how to speak to them. You need to know how to look at the properties for them. You need a book of investors that you can send property to, because if you don't have a book of investors going into 2023, you're not going to have a book of business, right? Like, you need buyers, you need sellers, and you need investors in your book of business, or you have an incomplete book of business. You also might need to take on some renters, right? You might need to help people with rentals. And sure, you're not going to make the $10,000, but you might make $1,500, but they could refer you to somebody. See, if you know how to ask for referrals, if you know how to ask for reviews, you build your brand and still get paid to do it. It's like doing a live webinar for free. Sure, you don't make any money on the webinar, but on the backside of the webinar, you might pick up 1 or 2 or 3 clients. But you also get exposure to a lot of people, 10, 15, 20, 30, 100, 500, right? Depending on how big your market is, how good you are at promoting yourself. So don't just go after sellers, don't just go after buyers, and don't just go after investors. Now, if you specialize and that's your niche, like investors or buyers, okay, fine. But in my opinion, I don't think that's fine. In my opinion, I think everybody has to add on buyers, sellers, and investors into their portfolio, into their book of business, because if you are missing one of those in this type of market, I don't think you're going to make as much money as you want. And in fact, some of you will go out of business, unfortunately. I don't like saying it, but in 2008, we went from like 1.5 registered NAR real estate agents down to, I believe it was 800 or 900,000. You can fact check me, YouTube. That's a huge drop. And remember, not every agent's active and not every agent does deals. So we went from 1.5, 1.6, probably down to an active of 500 or 600,000. That's insane. That's a lot of people not making money. I don't want that to be you. So if you'd like some help and if you'd like to learn what we teach inside the Real Estate Growth Academy, which is how to build your sales, how to build emotional influence, and how to build a brand, just drop me a message. My team will reach out. We'll get on a one-on-one. We'll chat. We'll see if we're a good fit for you. And if you like the content, do me a favor, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell notification so that when we drop new content, you can get it. And let's go keep making this market awesome. Talk to you soon.